Hey guys, welcome back to Sad Dad. My name's Abigail and I'm Carrie, and I'm a kid from Fresno, California, and I sit down with my funny fellow friends and we talk about dads. So my week's gone good so far. I had open house not too long ago, and I did this thing. It's called Peach Blossom. It's where we had to sing a poem, and before that I went to Fresno State to perform it. And I have a special guest here with me, and his name is Dave Apkarian.
Yeah, you were on a good tear there. You had a few other things going on this week too, didn't you? Oh, softball practice?
Yeah, I had softball practice.
Softball season. Well, I would just like to thank you for having me on the show today.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is great. So this is a podcast where you have guests on and you talk about dads, huh? Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. Yeah. You've been doing it a long time?
Yep.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, this is a part of the show where you try to get to know your guest a little bit.
Yep.
So you're interviewing me?
Is it strange?
Is it strange that I'm being interviewed by my kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different, huh? You think? I think it's a little different. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, you don't have to do any of the other talking.
No, it's nice. I feel like I have to do all the talking, and especially this week. The reason we're doing this right now is because I was out of town last week, and then so like half the week I was out of town. Then the other half of the week I was sick. I actually lost my voice this week.
Oh no!
For like 3 days is the first day I've been able to talk since like Sunday. Yeah, it's crazy. So
this is so sensitive. It could hear cars passing by. And he could sometimes even hear the train.
Yeah, and sometimes the birds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so because of all that, I didn't really have time to have a guest on. I had a bunch of opportunities for great guests, except I just couldn't talk.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't figure out who to have on as a guest, so I decided to have myself on as a guest and be interviewed by the only person worth interviewing me on the topic of dads. So, yeah, you can ask me about my dad. You can ask me about being a dad.
Yep.
So cool. I know you said you thought about a few questions.
So...
maybe start from the beginning. That's usually how I start with my guests.
Yeah. So, what was one of your favorite things you did with your dad when you were a kid?
Oh, that's a great question. Grandpa and I, he used to take us camping a lot. I don't really like camping much now as a grown up. Mm-hmm. But we did a lot of camping when I was a kid, and we would actually go up to Calvin Crest because during the off season, that summer camp, you could just go up there if you were like part of the staff, and we had friends that were part of the staff, and so we would go up there and camp, and it was kind of neat. Like we had it was the off season, so there was nobody there, and so we had a whole summer camp to ourselves. It was pretty.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then your grandpa would take. He was really good about taking your Uncle Kenny and I. He would take us on a lot of day trips and stuff. Because he travels a lot for his business.
Yeah, he goes to LA and
yeah, and he goes to a lot of places on the Central Coast, and then
mm-hmm.
up in to Sacramento and stuff.
Oh yeah, and that's the capital of California.
It sure is. And so he would take us on. He would take us to do silly things we had one summer where we went to all of the caverns in California. So we went to Crystal Caverns and Moaning Caverns and California Caverns.
I've heard of Crystal Caverns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what it is.
It's like a cave, and they take you on a tour of this cave.
Oh.
Go underground. It's pretty cool.
Was there real crystals in Crystal Cavern?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Then why would they name it that?
That
makes no sense.
That's a great question. Yeah. So that was some of the stuff I really liked doing with my dad when I was a kid.
Where was your favorite place to go when you were a kid with your dad?
Well, and I feel like I named a few of them already. One of the things Grandpa used to do with us is he would take us deep sea fishing, and so it's like we would go on
I've heard of that. Like, don't you go like into the ocean?
Yeah, we go out in the ocean, and like it's different than regular fishing. It's like you're on a boat, and it's like rocking up and down
because of the waves.
And like everybody's seasick, and like what's really crazy about deep sea fishing is like you like. Because the fish are so far down and you'd reel them up.
They would probably get off?
No, it wasn't that. It was like the sudden change in pressure because when you're down like really deep underwater, there's a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. And then if you move up through the water really fast, it causes the pressure to like expand. And like, so like the fish would come out of the water and like their eyeballs were like popping out of their heads and like their tongue was sticking out. And then, it was kind of, and then like the fish like wouldn't die very quickly, and so like there was literally like a boat club. Like you had to like reel your fish up on the boat and then like club it to death on the head. Like you bop it on the head, and it was pretty gross and very smelly, but it was pretty fun. Like like when you're going out to the ocean, you get to like sit on the front of the boat and just bounce up and down and stuff.
Boing, boing, boing.
Boing, boing, boing. Yeah. Yeah. I also sometimes ask like my guests like where their dad grew up.
Yeah, where did your dad grow up?
Where did my dad grow up? That's a great question. Thank you for asking. It's he grew up in Fresno. I did a whole episode with him, but he grew up in Fresno, and his grandparents were Armenian. You're Armenian. Mm-hmm. You're a quarter Armenian.
Yeah.
I'm half Armenian, and Grandpa's full Armenian.
He is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so he grew up out actually on this piece of property here.
Yeah. Didn't you same as you? You lived in the mobile home next to Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then where Grandma and Grandpa live now is where
your grandma used to live.
Exactly, and that's more or less the house Grandpa grew up in. And he didn't speak. Did you know Grandpa didn't speak any English when he went to kindergarten? He only knew how to speak Armenian.
How do you speak Armenian? Like,
well, it's a different language. It's just like Spanish or Italian or any other language.
Whoa!
So he had to learn how to speak English in school, and it was actually very hard for him. He really struggled with that.
Yeah, if I was him, I would really struggle too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he grew up out here, and my grandpa, your great grandpa, he was a real eccentric guy. He liked to build stuff, and he farmed a lot, and they had grapevines and chickens and stuff out here that they raised. But he would also do silly things like there was one time your great grandpa, he wanted to build an airplane. So he like built the airplane, but he like never got around to putting the wings on it. And so he would just like drive this airplane like fuselage with no wings up and down the road.
That would be really weird.
Yeah, it would be. So, yeah.
It's like riding a quad with no wheels.
Kinda, yeah. So, do you have any questions for me about being a dad?
Was it hard to change my diapers when I was little?
Was it hard to change your diapers when you were little? Yes, it was very stinky. Yeah, it was. Before you were born, I had never changed a diaper before, and it was it was kind of stinky, but it was all right. It wasn't. I know a lot of people complain about it, but it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I've smelled really stinky diapers in my life.
Have you?
Yeah. Because like all kinds of babies I know, they stink up.
Mm-hmm. They do. Yeah. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. Though I mean, it wasn't my favorite part of being a dad, but it was all right. What other questions do you have?
Thinking.
Can I ask you a dad question?
What?
You have two dads.
I know, I knew.
And I know the audience knows me pretty well at this point because they've listened to a bunch of episodes.
Shouldn't there be an episode where Michael comes on the show?
Maybe in the future, but yeah, tell the audience about your stepdad. He's a pretty cool dude, huh?
He's a fireman.
Mm-hmm.
we live in Sanger. We used to live in Easton, but we don't anymore. Mm-hmm. And I know the story.
You know the story?
Yes.
What story?
Because we had to move out into Sanger.
Oh, okay.
It's because we rented a house for a long time of my life.
Uh-huh.
For all the years I've been to school, preschool, TK, kindergarten, first grade.
Yeah. And then you guys got and then Michael started working as a firefighter out there?
Well, no, he worked as a firefighter even when we lived in Easton.
Oh, that's right.
I think he began to be a firefighter about a year we lived in the house.
Uh-huh. That's cool. He's a fun guy. Mm-hmm. We went to the three of us went to the father-daughter dance together. Uh-huh. That was pretty fun.
Michael's first ever father-daughter dance.
Yeah, I got the picture right here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute, right?
Yeah, it's funny.
That's cool. He's pretty funny, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He calls me funny names too.
Oh yeah? What's your favorite funny name?
He calls me a big oaf.
A big oaf?
Yeah.
You're a big old oaf?
Yeah. When he picks me up, sometimes he says that.
Uh-huh.
He calls me that. And they call me Krabby Abby too when I get cranky.
Yeah, you get real cranky, especially in the mornings. You're tough. You're a tough cookie. Yep, that's you every morning. Yeah. All right, you maniac, calm down. So yeah, well that's cool. Any other questions for me about being a dad?
What was the toughest thing for you to do when I was a baby?
Oh man, when you were a baby, I was always really worried about dropping you. I was worried I would just drop you and then your head would crack open and there'd just be blood everywhere.
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds so gross.
It does.
I'm even picturing it in my head, the exact spot where it would happen.
Where would it happen?
Right next to the couch. No, I know the audience can't see it, but it would be. I really don't know. I know where it is, but I don't know what area to say.
Okay. Well, all right then. Yeah. So that was really scary for me.
Mm-hmm. Mommy was very worried about that stuff too.
Oh yeah, was she? She talked about that?
No, she told me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's a scary part, and then just all the responsibility, to make sure you grow up into a tough, independent lady. Exactly, and have to make sure that you're a good person because a lot of that responsibility falls on your parents. You seem like a good kid though. Long moments of silence. This is good podcasting. Let me tell you. Long, awkward moments of silence.
Because I don't know what to say.
Well, that's part of it. Yeah. So yeah, and so I'm your dad, and it's pretty cool.
And I might be a mom when I grow up.
You think you're gonna have a kid someday? You're pretty young to think about it. You're only 8 years old. You're thinking about that.
I know.
Uh-huh. I mean, that's all right. Don't rush into anything, Yeah. You gotta go backpacking across Europe. No?
I don't know what that means.
It's just you travel across Europe. You ever want to travel? Yeah.
I've never even been out of California. The only faraway place I've been is to LA.
Uh-huh.
I've never been anywhere past that.
Where would you like to go?
I would really want to go to San Francisco.
Yeah?
That sounds really cool.
It does sound really cool. It is cool. I've been there before.
And so has Mommy and Michael.
Uh-huh. What is it about San Francisco you like?
Just I want to see the bridge there.
Yeah? They have two bridges.
The Golden Gate Bridge, and what's the other bridge?
The Bay Bridge. It's not as pretty, but it's longer and it's bigger. So yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, thanks for doing this with me today.
Welcome.
Do you have any parting thoughts for the people? No? You can't shake your head.
No, I mean...
It's all right. Well, cool. Well, thanks for doing this. We'll be back next week, and I'll have a real episode for you guys. What's that face?
You saying this ain't a real episode?
Well, it's a short episode.
Oh, it's like a mini episode should be called something like.
I was calling them. I've done one other one. I called it a Sad Dad Short.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, should we call it a Sad Dad Short? Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll call it a Sad Dad Short. It's a little 15-minute podcast. You interviewing me. I don't know if this is good, but it's something. You know?
Yeah.
Give the people something.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. I'll catch you next week. Yeah, sorry about that. It just didn't happen this week. I just got so busy, and then I got sick, and then I actually have some interviews lined up, but I really kind of dropped the ball this week with my, like I said, being out of town and that and just not feeling well. So my voice is more or less back at this point. I think I still sound a little funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of nasally. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you guys so much. I still use your sign off.
Adios.
Adios, everybody.